Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight is what Ugandan journalists are looking at. Journalists in Uganda have demanded for an immediate action about how they are treated, especially when they're covering sensitive matters in the country. This follows the unfair treatment that has for the past 2 years seen most of them being kidnapped, whereas some are sued for uttering or writing anything against the government of Uganda.
It is very unfortunate that our country is going through such dimensions.
On the harassment that police is doing, and police and other security agents that which they're doing on journalists, it is too bad and too disappointing.
We are not independent anymore. You cannot do a story and cover it to its maximum without the intervention of the government or without the intervention of the opposition. Everything is now biased. Like we cannot be neutral, we cannot be independent, and it is very unfortunate.
With the recent reshuffles that have been done in police, they want the police officers that inflicted pain on the journalists to face the necessary action.
Government, first of all, realize practicing the democracy they preach. Yeah, that's the only way, because you're going to speak and sun will set, but nothing's ever going to change. We just, for us, the media, we need to, of course, we have to get more stronger because it's a calling.
The president should intervene, more so in the judiciary. He should make reshuffles as he has made in the police, and I think that will help us, because journalism is like any other job. It should be respected. We should be free while doing our job.
Among the journalists that were beaten and obtained serious injuries are Andrew Rwanga, a former WBS journalist who was covering a city protest, then beaten by a senior police officer, Joram Mwesuje; Gertrude Witware, a health reporter for the private Ugandan broadcaster NTV, abducted and assaulted for writing a post about the First Lady; Sostengwambwa Kituyi, taken to a safe house for writing a story about the murder of Muslims around Chireka.
We're documenting a number of cases that are stemming from violations and abuses of media freedoms and journalist rights. We're in the final stages of publishing this report, but preliminarily it points to the police and security forces as leading in the front of violating media rights, especially the unprecedented arrests and detention, illegal detentions for that matter, and also charging journalists on trumped-up charges, which has manifested in so many ways. We've seen the way Charles Setukuri was kidnapped. Reverend Baka disappeared for so many months, and none of us even had the faintest idea of where he was being detained. He was detained in Communicado. We have the Red Pepper guys, how they were arrested and then confined to Narufenya for a week, let alone jailed, and we had to seek the indulgence of the minister to secure their release on bail at the court. We also saw our colleague Richard Kasule Kamagu, who was whisked away from his media house without an explanation of the offences he had committed and detained at a police station for 2 days. Stanley Ndaula, same case, and other journalists that have been beaten or even arrested arbitrarily. So we see this escalation of bad blood between the media and the security forces, especially the police.
The recent one is about Charles Etukuri, the New Vision investigative reporter who was kidnapped after writing a story about the death of a Finland national who died at the Pearl of Africa Hotel in Kampala, and Frederick Nsereko, who were also covering the FDC rally. Robert Sempala of the Human Rights Network for Journalists in Uganda attributes this to police officers who are not qualified.
The escalation of such violations has been due to the political contestations taking shape in the country, especially the vibrant discussions about the presidential candidacy. And now we hope that it's going to escalate more, given the pending amendment to the land laws in the country. Majority of the owners, they have been relegated to spectators, and so we think that there's going to be a face-off between the legislators, the executive, and the owners. So we are still hoping for a very rough ride around that area.
However, the spokesperson of police, Luke Owesijire, promises a smooth relation with the journalist.
And we make sure that we brief the people that we are going to work with, especially the media, because we need to understand each other when we are going through such things. And of course, there have been some pulling of ropes here and there, whereby a crime scene is cordoned off, and the journalist who just wants to be aggressive and enter a crime scene that is cordoned off sometimes. So in most cases, there are some disagreements. Some of them are arrested instantly because they don't follow what the officer is telling them anyway.
This has not only left journalists worried about their lives, but also run out of the country to seek for asylum.
First and foremost, beating anyone is a violation of their human rights. Now, beating a woman is even worse. Women carry life, women nurture life, women hold this society together. How do you beat a woman? Whether it's a woman journalist or it's any other woman, it's completely, totally wrong.
We urge you, the court, to be independent so that we can also at least get justice, because we are the people to defend the ordinary people. But then you find that if I'm scared, then the other one will only have to hide.
Whether this will come to an end with new appointed police officers leaves us wondering.
The fight is still on until justice is prevailed, but this is only going to be done if the president enforces what he stated as sweeping all bin weavers away from police and court. Becky Cynthia Nachimera for Urban TV.